Alright, we are on the draw with what I would call a very keepable hand. It looks like we're going to go Stomping Ground, Traverse for an island. Next turn we can play Delver, play Spreading Seas, play Mana Leak. Maybe we want to Denial. We can Shoal Pitch something. Seems quite good, or at least quite adequate. Curse Catcher makes our lives relatively hard. I like that they're not starting on an Aether Vial, although I would certainly show that too. We are going to use this, yes, pay alt costs. Curse Catcher, pitch the Stubborn Denial. Denial is not great against fish. Merfolk, if you will. Let's just go to us. That does... I still want to do the Traverse play because now we drew a Lightning Bolt. If we didn't have the Bolt, I'd be a lot more likely to just suck it up, get a Steam Vents, and cast Delver. As is, now that we know that next turn we'll be casting 2 spells, this got a lot better. Get ourselves a basic island. It's nice that our opponent mulliganed down to 6 because the card disadvantage off of Disrupting Shoal was a lot less important. Of course, you shouldn't build your deck around hoping that the opponent mulligans to 6 very often. But, you know, when it comes up, you roll with it. I almost want to turn off that Mutavault. I also kind of don't want to turn off the Mutavault. I do want to play this Goyf because it is a faster clock than the Delver. So let's slam that. We don't have a Bolt target yet, so we're going to use our mana as efficiently as possible. Seems like a good idea. If/when they present a Bolt target, we will probably go Bolt plus Delver. If this is something like a Tidebinder Mage, I probably bolt it on the spot. I very much do not like Tidebinder Mage. That actually happened. I cannot believe that happened. That's really quite fantastic. Okay, so we can Spreading Seas, hold up Mana Leak. One of the two, in addition to Delver or Bolt. So we're going to do one 1-mana spell and one 2-mana spell. Tidebinder won't let Goyf untap until it's gone. I think we're going to Bolt and just hold up Mana Leak. Although them having... Can we... Nope, we couldn't stop it in time. So we are holding up Mana Leak now. Once you think about the fact that they have a Cavern of Souls, you should probably just play the Spreading Seas or the Delver. So that is a misplay. I did catch it, but I was a little too late on that one. Second Cavern makes Mana Leak pretty much just bad entirely. I don't hate Spreading Seas on the Mutavault though. Might do that. We're going to get a Breeding Pool tapped because we may as well. Disrupting Shoal looks quite bad here. Vendilion Click can actually be Mana Leaked. No, it can't. They named fairies. Oh, Wizard. They named Wizard. So we cannot Mana Leak. They will take one of our cards. That is a pretty big downside to not having tooltips enabled. In case you guys don't remember or you didn't see the older videos, or maybe you've just never used Xmage, by default, Xmage, whenever you hover over a card, will have a little gray box telling you the oracle text on the card, and helpful bits of information, such as the amount of damage marked on the creature, or what they named with a card that has to name things. You can't do that without it, but when that is enabled, hovering over cards causes a very annoying window to pop up, which makes it harder to click things. We drew a Serum Visions, which isn't bad. It's harder to click things. It's really quite cumbersome. We're going to start off with this Visions. Dismember actually isn't so bad. Question is, do I want to Renegade or Spreading Seas? Renegade's just going to be a 1-2, which is at least somewhat disappointing. I don't think we want to Spreading Seas, though. I think that's the best we have. We're in a bit of a race situation. We might actually win the race. Now Spreading Seas looks a lot better because they already have 3 sources of blue for their Merfolk. So maybe we just tag the Mutavault and call it a day. Well, the opponent is racing, which is at least somewhat scary. If they play a 2-mana spell without Cavern, we can Shoal it. That's a 3-mana spell that will probably have Uncounterability tagged onto it. Is it whenever they cast a Merfolk or whenever they cast a spell? It's a Merfolk, okay. Question is, do we want to kill that? We are going to Spreading Seas the Mutavault now. We could draw Lightning Bolt. We drew Serum Visions, that's fine. I believe we just attack. It looks like we're ahead of the race. I am quite concerned with the fact that our opponent is racing us right now, because we do 5 a turn. Well, I guess they also do 5 a turn now. But we don't kill them slightly faster because they're hitting before we do. We might actually end up dismembering a Vendilion Click. Harbinger of the Tides is going to be annoying. That will cost us some serious tempo. If we let the Harbinger survive, or I guess the Regerie survive, it's not super relevant. Oh! Oh dear. Oh dear. We can't dismember immediately. Oh no. I should have read what they were targeting. I apologize. That was very, very sloppy. We're going to take 5 and not be attacking with Goyf. I would much rather have dismembered this Vendilion Click because we would be at 7 as opposed to a much lower number. We're in serious trouble. We need to Goyf and dismember and then hope they just don't have... Hope that they don't have Merfolk spells to tap our guys. Yes. And yes. That very well may cost us the game. 4, not as advantageous as 7. No, there's no need for you to attack. Doesn't give Island Walk, which is good. If they draw a Lord, we're basically dead, which is pretty frickin' scary. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that much. What are you targeting? Island. Sure. They're hoping to draw something good, it looks like. At least we would be able to shoal a Merfolk Lord at this point, because now Cavern is off. So, is it a Lord? It's not a Lord. They don't have good attacks, but we don't really have good attacks either. We do play this Goyf. Do I want to attack them? They're at 11. We do need to kill them sooner or later, because eventually they're going to have Island Walk. Probably soon. So I think we attack with the Tarmogoyf. Okay, at least they're low. The real question is, do I want to crack this Foothills and play a Serum Visions? Holding up Mana Leak seems very bad. So I think we do want to use the Serum Visions. If we go to 3, we can't let any attackers through, which seems bad, so we're just going to leave the Foothills where it is, and hopefully scry a bolt to the top. Neither of these are bolts, but we can at least Mandrills and Simic Charm next turn, so I think we're going to go for that. If we survive the turn, and they don't draw a Lord, or actually any Merfolk spell. Any Merfolk spell does us in, because they can tap a thing. Mutavault won't have haste, so that's good. We fade that for a turn. This is very, very difficult. Okay. I believe it will be correct to attack with a Tarmogoyf next turn, because if they do block it, then it's essentially the same as Goyf blocking their creature, and if they don't block it, we use Simic Charm and we just win the game. So I do think I want to attack with exactly one Tarmogoyf. However, well, actually, if they attack us now, then they start losing creatures, which is totally okay. Unless they have some combat tricks, they don't attack. We're going to draw Mandrills. We won't play it right away. We're just going to head to combat and attack, I believe. After I think this through. If we attack, what's the worst that happens? They probably just block with Mutavault if they don't want to go down to bolt range, which means they'll have 3 attackers, we'll have 3 potential blockers, and we're back in the Merfolk attacking. If they play a Merfolk spell, we lose. What if we attack with both Goyfs? Then they have to block both, and it's still about the same as us attacking with one and blocking with the other. So I actually think we attack with both of these because they're both lethal. So let's do that. Try to clear out some creatures. They only block the one. We're gonna go for it. +3/+3. This guy. Blue, green. Does it work? Do you have Vapor Snag? Although I imagine if they had Vapor Snag, we already lost. And we did it. Whew. That was very tense. Okay. I'm going to have to be more careful about the misclicking and not paying attention to what triggers are doing. I figured they were just going to untap something, not tap down my blocker. Or, sorry, tap down my mana. That was quite scary. Let's look at what we want to board in. Oh dear, Disrupting Shoal's going to be bad. I was thinking, since this isn't a Blood Moon matchup, maybe we don't need Disrupting Shoal, or we can keep Disrupting Shoal. We won't bring in too many cards that aren't blue. Looks like we're bringing in a lot of cards that are not blue. Spell Snare can go. I don't know if it was right for them to go down to bolt range, because we do run 4 bolts, of course, and we also could potentially draw Snapcaster. Renegade I don't think should be here because it's not a great clock, as we saw, and it also, although it did contribute to getting our opponent low enough to kill them, so it does get that. I will yield that it did that game, but it didn't do much that game. Island Walk is my biggest concern with having Renegade in the deck. Once they have Island Walk on, Renegade becomes a lot worse. I actually think I want the second Snapcaster Mage. I want to grind them out. Let's cut some Mandrills so that we're not too clunky here. Probably cut the Simic Charm. Dismember is good against Master of Waves, so I'm inclined to want an amount of that. And we could probably cut a Denial and a Scour. Oh, Mana Leak's going to be bad. Well, we have so many cards to take out. Oh my lord, let's bring Scour back in. What is worse, Mana Leak or Denial? They both are just quite bad. When we're on the play, I think Denial gains some stock in that we can snap off an Aether Vial. As is, I don't think either is very good, so maybe we just bring some Apes back in and run 2 Denials. 1 of each. Okay, we'll run 1 of each and just kind of sort of hedge. Okay, let's try that. See how it goes. This hand looks pretty good. We're going to go turn 1 Delver, possibly turn 1 Thought Scour, turn 2 Explosives, hopefully pop it on 3. Aether Vial. I wonder if we want to play Explosives on 1. But then we're spending a lot of mana on that play, and that I don't particularly like. I'm going to get a Breeding Pool because I want to get our mana. There is an argument for getting a basic forest, although I suppose then I would need to play the Steam Vents first because I do want to cast Delver on this turn. There's an argument for getting the basic forest if you really want to play around Spreading Seas, because if they have the Spreading Seas it's basically the same thing, or at least close. I think it's worth shocking to have green and blue. Oh, there we go. Tells us what they chose right here on the right side of the screen. They chose Merfolk. That's helpful. We just have to remember. It's still nice that the tooltip tells you there. Okay, so Explosives on 1 just got a lot more interesting. Okay, what are our options? We definitely attack, because if they Violin a Curse Catcher, they just trade. And that's okay. We can either play this and get a basic island. That will put 2 cards in the graveyard. We'll have 2 mana, Thought Scour, 1 mana up, 5 cards in the yard, go for a Mandrills on 2. Yeah, I think we're just gonna save the Explosives for when we can crack it for dealing with their creatures instead of the Aether Vials. I think that's a good idea. I really don't know, of course. Let's Scour us. They might decide to Curse Catcher it. They didn't. We also got all of the lands we could possibly want. We'll delve away these. Make Snapcaster Mage worse because there were bolts there. Go to us. I've got nothing. Vapor Snag. That's annoying. Come on, man. At least they didn't vial anything in. That's pretty funny. If we want to play our spells on curve, it's going to hurt. But I could see going for Explosives on 2 and playing a land tap next turn, and then just going for turn 4 Huntmaster. Could be good. At this point, we don't want to see any more lands. Lightning Bolt's excellent. Let's attack first. I almost want to shock to hold up Bolt. Before we cast it, we're going to make sure we get the right colors. Cast X is 2. 1, 2. 2 colors paid. Do they have something like a Stubborn Denial? Now we either shock to hold up Bolt, or we conserve our life total. I think I'm going to shock, just because if they want to violin something good, we can bolt it. Unless they have Curse Catcher, but I think if they had Curse Catcher, they would have used it already. So let's try for the bolt. Let's see if it pays off, or if they have the Curse Catcher. They did not have it, which is good. Those will tick up some more. I know we have Explosive to deal with Lords, but if we don't have to use the Explosives to deal with a Lord, then we have the Explosives for future Lords. And the Lords are scary when there are a lot of them, not when there's just one. Let's get them down to 13, and I believe we're going to just go for Huntmaster here. Green, not that it technically mattered. Yup. Go to us. Us drawing that second Lightning Bolt turns Snapcaster from an Ant card to an amazing card at this point. Our opponent probably has a Regerie. Yep, that's fine. Conveniently, Aether Vial does not count as casting things when you vial in a Merfolk. We could still very well lose this game because they stand to gain quite a bit of tempo. But on the bright side, we've got an active Huntmaster, an active Aberration, a Bolt in our graveyard, plenty of things in hand, and an EE on 2. EE on 2 is actually making me quite confident. Do they have something? Because if they don't, they're in trouble. Well, we're going to target the things we want to target. Huntmaster, Explosives, Delver, and Bolt make for a very nice combination against Merfolk. They vial in probably a Master of Waves. I'm almost certain that's the only 4 they run. Looks like they don't want to die. Those could trade with Huntmaster, which isn't bad. Particularly when you're at the edge of the ropes like you are. Fortunately, Huntmaster has Trample. Oh, Master has Pro Red. Trixie Master of Waves. At least they went to 4. We can go Delver plus Goyf, or we could go Mandrills, or we could go just Delver. I think we're going to go Delver plus Goyf, even though it puts the shields down by us not having plenty of mana up, and it also means that Explosives hits our Goyf. But on the bright side, look at our board and their life total. With a little luck, although I did use that expression either last match against the Eldrazi guy, or earlier this match. I already used that expression, so maybe I should try to be a little more creative. With a little bit of luck, Goyf dying to Explosives won't matter. Having 2 Aether Vials is probably quite bad for the Merfolk player when they're up against a fair deck. Harbinger bounces the Aberration probably. Seems good. Seems good. It's very fortunate that the Island Walkers are all 2 CMC. Is that another Master of Waves? We're in trouble. Yes, we are. Those are scary. Does that transform? Please, it doesn't. Well, we're going to play them. Or at least one of them. No, we're not attacking. They're at 4 and we're on the back foot. Mandrills, 1, 2, 3, 4. Special. Snapcaster Mage just got a whole lot worse, but nothing we can do about that. Our opponent is very low on cards, which is a good thing. Of course, that second Master of Waves was a 5-for-1. So that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I'm happy to have these green creatures because Master doesn't have protection from them. Master is a lot better against a board of Pyromancer tokens. Silvergill Adept is very good with Aether Vial, but of course that's why they play it. Mutavault is pretty good too. We're really hoping this Delver flips. Do they actually have another Master of Waves? Oh my lord! Pyroclasm doesn't even do it. We need EE on 0, and we need its stat. Jeez. Triple Master of Waves is awesome. Maybe we shouldn't have played the Explosives on 2. Maybe you're better off holding it. Our clock is ticking down, so Xmage didn't totally freeze. There we go. Xmage synced back up. Transform. Off a bolt. Bolt, 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 bolt. Goyf. So if we... The only 2-drop they have is this Harbinger. So we're almost certainly better off playing Goyf than cracking Explosives. So we'll play Goyf. Cast Delver, And we might still be in the game. Might. Yep, happens. We're almost certainly dead though, because that's a lot of tokens. I apologize for how small your screen must have gotten. Just go to our turn because I don't want to have to deal with things. How bad is this for us right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if these 4 get in, say, they animate Mutavault, so it looks like they're coming in. Can we survive? We can block 6 creatures. If we block 6 of the tokens, so those 6, we take 1, 2. How big is that? I can't see. It's probably a 5-2. We're very dead. We are very, very dead. We're at -42. We are on the play, though, so this mana leak is going to become a denial. And we will hopefully win. It looks like explosives on 1 taking out the vials would have been better that game. But I don't know if it's often like that, and I don't think I've played against Merfolk enough to really be a judge of that kind of line. It's kind of weird how some decks like that I've just by chance not played against very much. Drawing an island was great. I want Tarfire and Tarn. We'll take the Tarn first, so that Delver transforms off of the Tarfire. We'll probably go Delver plus Tarfire on our next turn. We could have held up Denial, but I think Visions is way better when you need to fix your mana. Let's play this little guy and go to the end step. Merfolk did not have a turn 1 Vial. When Merfolk doesn't have a turn 1 Vial, it is way better for us. Like, the matchup, it's like, imagine a flowchart. The first step is, do they have Vial on 1? If it's a yes, the matchup is relatively hard. If it's a no, the matchup gets significantly easier. I might want to cast this just because we're going to be bottlenecked on red, but I think not casting is... Oh, we can Denial. Even better. Even better. I was thinking Tarfire or not, and then just use Tarn to get a Stomping Ground, hope they don't have the second Seas. With that handy little Denial in hand, it was a 1-mana Time Walk. Reveal Tarfire. That'll hopefully scare them a good bit. And Clock plus Disruption begins. We'll play that 3rd land and get in there. Holding up plenty of stuff. If we need to double Tarfire, we can just get a Stomping Ground, no problem. Silvergill Adept, annoying, but it happens. Regery is something I would very much like to kill with Tarfire. Yep. Now we might want to Tarfire the Silvergill anyways, just to slow them down a touch. Let's get a breeding... Stomping Ground's probably better, given that we'll only have the 1 green source anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. They have plenty of cards, and we did just get 2 for 1. Oh wow, Spell Pierce. Okay, well that turns it into just a 1 for 1, which is nice. Playing around that, we probably should have gone for the Tarfire before we fetched. So that was a misplay. Although, I think I would take 2 damage to ensure that the Silvergill goes down, just because it means that we don't take 2 damage off the Silvergill in the future. Go to end step, and Tarfire should help us out. They don't know about this Tarfire, which is quite nice. Cavern is annoying. They could have another Spell Pierce, which means if they play a Regery, we're going to wait until we tap out, or sorry, we untap. Harbinger can bounce Aberration. That's probably fine, though. Yep. It's not like we're going to have Spell Snare in our deck post-board. That happens. Harbinger bounces the Aberration. I think Goyf should still be attacking here. Question is, do I want to Tarfire? If we Tarfire now, the only thing we're really playing around is drawing a spell that is... Basically, we need to draw something that we can play in lieu of Tarfire next turn, and I don't think that's super likely. Land means we could just slam Huntmaster, which might actually be better. Yeah, I think we just slam Huntmaster. Don't believe they have counters for that. Goyf is going to attack because Huntmaster... Are we at 19? It is so rare for this deck to be at 19 life, even with slight amounts of life gain off of Huntmaster. They take 5, head to end step, and we're in a pretty good position sitting at 19 life with a Huntmaster in hand and this board state. They played a second Mutavault, so they can only attack with 1. They can play Regerie plus another Lord, but we can then pass the turn, transform Huntmaster, Tarfire. Seems at least okay. Huntmaster really is such a house against these creature decks. Playing Blue-Red Delver against these kinds of decks is just a nightmare. Gets so much easier because of the green in this guy. Of course, Tarmogoyf pulls a considerable amount of weight. I'm sure everyone recognizes that, given its price. I imagine it's pretty universally known that Tarmogoyf is a good card, but holy Huntmaster against creature decks. Tidebinder Mage probably taps down Goyf. Regerie taps down the Wolf. Oh, maybe they're just going to tap Huntmaster and go for a good swing. That's possible. No, they're just keeping the Goyf down. Yeah, we're not going to block with Huntmaster. That seems at least somewhat silly. I'll take 6, sure. Go down to 13. We do need to start cleaning up this board, though. The question is, do I want to clean it up by passing the turn and then double Tarfire into another Huntmaster transformation? I was considering taking this line when I didn't have the second burn spell in my hand. Now that I do, oh boy, do I want this. Let's do that. And of course we're probably going to do all of this before they do anything. Although I guess it's not super relevant. Maybe. We'll at least do things on their end step. We are casting both of these burn spells this turn, though, to transform this Ravager. And Goyf is going to be a 6/7! That's so ridiculously large. Master of Waves. We can cut down on their devotion. We can leave them with 2 devotion for when this resolves. Sweet. Tarfire that. Bolt that. Man, that's a blowout. It's not even a blowout in that we gained a massive advantage over our opponent. We just took away the advantage that they had and were about to have. Drawing that lightning bolt was extremely fortunate. I think I would have taken the line with just Huntmaster, Transformation, and Tarfire. Ooh, Dismember targeting Huntmaster. Seems good. Knocks our opponent down to 3. Yes, please. Oh, I love it because we're about to cast another Huntmaster. Do we just attack with both of these because of how much pressure they're under? Do I want to trade? Kind of, because that cuts down Devotion for future Huntmaster of Waves, and Huntmaster of Waves. For future Master of Waves, and Master is probably their best out. We're going to attack, because they either block or they die. Then we will cast Huntmaster. And then we will cast our handy dandy Delver. We do go back to 13, but we aren't under a lot of pressure, and we just put quite the onus on our opponent. Oh, how I love this deck. It is absolutely beautiful. A land is really bad for them there, given that Huntmaster does terrible things to them upon transforming. Delver can also do terrible things. Island Walk is somewhat good, but not really relevant. If we have any instant or sorcery, they just straight lose because of Delver. If we don't, we probably just pass the turn. Not before attacking with the Tarmogoyf, probably the Wolf token as well, because neither can be blocked without our opponent losing a creature, which seems excellent. Goyf got really big. Let's look at the card types that made our Goyf large. Their enchantment, we've got creature, instant, sorcery, probably land off of a fetch. So instant, creature, sorcery, land, the common 4, plus their enchantment and our tribal Tarfire. What is it, Delver? Excuse me. Not a land. They live to die another day. We're also not going to play it. Even though it gives us a Delver Scry, we just attack with Goyf and pass the turn. Actually, we'll also attack with the Wolf. Neither can be blocked profitably. So we're going to put our opponent to 1. Trade with the Wolf. They have to block both. Sure. I have no idea what our opponent plans on doing, but that is totally okay. We're going to get in with the Wolf and the Goyf. Oh, they probably want to animate the Mutavault. That's fine. They probably just clicked done too quickly. Oh, it's a 4/4. Master of Waves gives +1/+1. I forgot about that. That was a bad attack. They could actually animate both Mutavaults and take out Goyf. Oh, they decided not to block for some reason. I guess they just gave up? That's okay too. They were probably dead very quickly to Huntmaster, and I don't believe they were very much in a position to take us out, because Huntmaster transforms, takes out the Island Walk Lord. Mutavaults are 3/3s. They hit for 6. Worst case scenario, we block Master of Waves with Delver, or even just chump a Mutavault with Delver. We really should not have attacked with the Wolf. Maybe we shouldn't have attacked with the Goyf either, and just relied on blocking. But I do like attacking with Goyf to get them to trade off a thing, be a little proactive in our creature clearing, and Huntmaster probably wins the game in short order. If not, it's whoever top decks better, with any instant or sorcery on our side being an instant win. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.